Saints, welcome to Saints TV Weekly. In this, we're going to be looking through all the news from the club, about the club, on field, off field, AFL, VFL, AFLW, give you all an update on where everything is at. There's a lot going on in the AFL world in general and at the club, so I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to do a video weekly to go through all that is St Kilda Football Club. Now, let's talk about on-field on the weekend. Not the performance we were looking for on Friday night. Saints Carlton, Friday night football, 7:50 Marvel Stadium. A chance to be in the top 8. It wasn't to be. The final score was St Kilda 12-9-81 to Carlton, a ridiculous accurate 18-4-112. I believe that is their second most accurate kicking performance in their history. And we were just playing catch up the entire time. It was not the performance we were after. We got what we wanted from King. He kicked 4. We got what we wanted from Jack Steele. He did everything in the middle. But apart from that, that was the highlight. Those two, and seeing Leo Connolly, Ryan Burns, and Cooper Sharman come on to kick 2 goals. Those were the highlights of that game, and that really did stuff our chances of making finals. There is still a mathematical chance, but when you put in performances like this on a Friday night, you really don't deserve to make finals. So we've got a big test coming up against Sydney. Hopefully the boys work hard on the tracker and can bounce back next weekend. In terms of the VFL, Sandy also went down. It wasn't a great performance on their end. They lost to Carlton 9-6-60 to 14-25 109. They lost by 49 points. They had 15 scoring shots to Carlton's 39. It could have been a much bigger loss. Still a loss. To the tune of 49 points. Dennis Lane kicked 2, Loney kicked 1, Caulfield kicked 1, Hanbury kicked 1, and Joyce kicked a goal as well. Best on ground was easily Jack Bytel, who had 28 disposals, 11 tackles, and Dan Hanbury got through the game unscathed. That was his second Sandy game of the season. He finished with 18 touches and a goal. There's a chance that Hanbury might be looked at this week with the significance of the Sydney game and the fact that now that the season might well be done, you might as well get him on the park and see what he's capable of and see if he can bring any sort of decent form to the starting 22. But obviously the big one is Jack Bytel, 28 disposals. You'd think that if he doesn't play this weekend, there's something bigger going on at the club. He deserves to play. Luke Dunstan got a lot of the ball against Carlton on Friday night, but didn't do a lot with it. There's a chance he could come out, maybe even rest Connolly or a Burns. They've played a stack of football the last month. So there's an opportunity there for Jack Bytel. But you'd think with that sort of performance in a losing side, and he's done that week in, week out at Sandy, that he's definitely worth putting into the 22 to see what he's doing. Particularly if someone like Hunter Clark, who came back on Friday night and, went off the ground injured with another head injury. Fingers crossed it's okay. That maybe rest him for the week and bring in Bytel to take up that midfield spot. So we'll see what happens there. But Jack Bytel definitely on the cards to come in this week, and potentially James Frawley as well, with Dougal Howard doing his hamstring. Unfortunately, on Friday night against Carlton, he didn't finish the game. He went off just after half-time, and that's when Cooper Sharman came on. He will miss probably the rest of the season, just to be safe. And with Buddy Franklin in good form and looking for his 1,000th goal, we need another tall defender, and the only one really there is potentially Darragh Joyce or James Frawley, who is more experienced at handling the big beasts of the AFL. Now to some VFLW, AFLW news. It's great to see that Tara Bohanna claimed the Southern Saints Best and Fairest off the back of her breakout 2021 campaign. She had a great season. She finished on 94 votes. Second was Hannah Sturt, 83. And Gabrielle DeAngelis, 74. Alice Burke, 69 votes. So congratulations to all of them for a great season. In terms of the AFLW, there were some new faces signed up last week, which was great. So signed Ella Friend, pick number 4, as well as Ash Richards, pick number 12. So it's really exciting to have those girls on board. We also signed up Leah Cutting as a free agent, a ruckman from Norwood. So exciting to have her on board as well. And the big news to come from this week is that Nick Del Santo has been announced as the new St Kilda AFLW senior coach. Dale played 322 games for St Kilda and the Kangaroos across 15 seasons, and he's been working as part of St Kilda's Next Generation Academy and Father-Son program since 2017. During the week, the club also launched the Pride Guernsey, which is pretty cool. I'm looking at it right now. They've mentioned that the front of the Guernsey features the modern-day Pride flag, which includes colours to represent the trans, Indigenous and persons of colour communities, as well as traditional rainbow. This element is a key to demonstrating the intersectionality of the LGBTQIA+ community and other minority communities, and the importance of them in the St Kilda family. The rainbow continues onto the back of the Guernsey, with the colours branching upward to illustrate the club's continual growth and room for further progression. Within the individual colours, names of organisations which have hosted Pride Cup events are featured, starting with the first one in Yarra Glen in 2014. Since starting with Australian Rules Football, Pride Cup events have now taken place in several sporting codes right across the country, which is a fantastic cause, obviously, and it's great for the club to be part of and to be part of the Pride game with Sydney. And no doubt, right now, Sydney are probably the form team in the competition with Geelong. Sydney have won, I think, 6 of their last 7. They are percentage out of the top 4. They're absolutely flying. They're beating teams above them. They're beating teams below them. Their youth is excelling, as well as their older heads in Parker, Kennedy, Franklin. All of these guys doing a job every week to lead the way. So this is going to be a big test. But if we're good enough, we will get the job done. In terms of injuries and players returning, we'll look at the injuries as the last thing here. It hasn't been updated on the website yet, but as of 28th of July, we know that Highmore, Higgins, Clark, and obviously Rowan Marshall came back into the side last week. Jack Sinclair missed with a hamstring. He was listed at 1 week, so there's a chance that Sinks will be back. And Dan McKenzie missed again with concussion symptoms. He was a week last week, so you'd have to think that Sinclair and McKenzie, as well as Bytel, are the 3 that would be a big chance of coming in with Joyce and or Frawley to take that pillar at fullback in the absence of Dougal Howard. Sean McKernan is still a couple of weeks away with a toe. Jaron Geary is about 7 weeks away. And Mason Wood and Josh Battle are TBC. Gresham, Carlisle, Patton obviously done for the season. There you have it, Sainers. That is the week that's been. In terms of other news, it's not confirmed yet, but I have heard some trade news that North Melbourne and Hawthorn are keeping close eye on Nick Caulfield. Caulfield's been in and out of the side on multiple occasions this season, and he hasn't brought his best form. Whether that's due to injury or just a down season remains to be seen. I'd like to think it's both. But that's something that may be entertained in the off-season. Jack Billings, his negotiations are underway, and it's believed that he wants to remain at the club, and the club wants to keep him. Seb Ross, unsure at the moment, as is Luke Dunstan. Those 2, I think, are the most likely to move on and to look at new opportunities at new clubs. But at this stage, nothing has been locked in. We'll do a video later in the year talking about all the contract situations and trade news. But that's it, guys. That is the Saints TV Weekly. I hope you appreciate it. If there's any other news that you've heard of that we haven't flagged, please comment below. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week on Saints TV Weekly. Go Saints!